Holy moly. So we're here in the very, very beautiful Kilcool. I was thinking, like all, so many great ideas, this started in a pub. Can you remember, was it a real, genuine sort of, this is definitely going to happen, or was it like, oh, maybe we will, maybe we won't?
Yeah, I think like all ideas, when you're having a few drinks, it always seems like a great idea, and you come up with maybe some of your best ideas and plans. But we actually kind of had that conversation. It was quite serious that evening, and then the next day I think we might have said a text to each other like, is this actually something we may or may want to do? And from there we're like, yeah, look, let's get the ball rolling, let's see what we can come up with as a business plan, and if that starts to make sense, then maybe we can start to take a little bit further forward.
As any teenager will tell you, talking about starting a band is one thing, but actually starting the band is another. Was it like a 6 month, was it a year after that you actually had Eirsolar and a logo and a place?
It was about probably 6 months. I was actually still doing my apprenticeship at the stage, so I was coming towards the end of that. So we started getting the ball rolling and getting everything in place, so it was kind of ready to go. As soon as I qualified, we were kind of hit the ground running then.
And you'd had experience, so you kind of knew, it wasn't like this is all like a whole new world to both of you. You sort of both had sort of an idea of how this could be better, basically.
Yeah, I've worked for probably about 4 different solar companies through subcontracting in over the years, and kind of saw where the shortfalls were. Mainly kind of aftercare was the big thing that I was concerned about. A lot of the companies I worked for, clients could be waiting 6 months to get a reply from you after something's gone wrong, and you go around, it's a 10-minute fix. That's one of my main things where I said to Ian, I was like, let's get back to customers within a week, get everything sorted if there ever is issues, because it's not usually issues, but that one time that there is, you want to get back out to them and make things right early.
There is, I hate to say it, but there is like a change in the wind. There is a sense that people are recognizing more and more that they have to think outside of the old traditional kind of, heating and the old ideas of how they get fuel and all the rest. I mean, have you felt that has sort of only increased? I think it probably has, especially with the Iran situation. I would imagine you would have noticed an upsurge in people's kind of, thinking about this.
Yeah, I think there's been definitely a massive increase in demand the last while. It's kind of been a shift probably 4 or 5 years ago and starting to move kind of more increasingly. It's kind of increased a lot in the last while, partly because of the Iran war and the cost of fuel. So people are looking at the cost of driving their cars, people are looking at the cost of electricity for powering their homes. So then people are looking at alternative ways of maybe doing that and trying to give them a bit of kind of structure, a bit of security around their pricing, what they pay. A lot of our customers will say, look, we just want to know exactly what our electricity bills are going to be for the future years. So if it's thinking about retirement or if it's thinking about family planning, just having a good sense of what your cost is going to be in terms of your electricity consumption, electricity price, what you're going to pay. It's a big kind of important thing for a lot of our customers. So kind of giving that little bit of security around what they're going to pay.
And of course, your move in February to Kilcool on a much bigger premises is a strong reflection of the fact that this is growing. And I don't know if for you two there was a point where you knew you'd made the right decision. I don't know. I know you mentioned the Green Party who sort of welcomed you in to sort of for a visit. I would imagine there's been some jobs that you're very, very happy with. Was there a point when you both realised, oh, this was the right decision? That was a good night in the pub.
Well, I think pretty early on we saw the interest from our customer base, and then we saw how we were getting so many referrals off the back of the work that we had done. So some of the estates we've done 12 or 13 houses in that area, so it's like you go in, you do a good job, you do it at the right price, your aftercare service is where it should be, then people will refer you on and say, okay, these guys are trustworthy, these guys are reliable, they're professional, they're clean, they're tidy, and they'll show up when they say they're going to show up, which is a big part of what we do.
So I don't know if you see, inevitably people are going to, in 5 or 10 years time, it's going to look like a different landscape out there. As I said, I've got solar power. Lots of people I know have got solar power, and there's others, looking to obviously wind turbines and all that. But it does seem to be, heading in all in the one direction. It's not like this is a fad.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the thing with people moving over to EVs. People's consumption of electricity in their houses increases quite substantially.
Heat pumps as well.
Heat pumps.
New builds.
Yes.
Heat pumps is a massive one as well. We have a lot of customers who are in new build houses or even houses that are being retrofitted for heat pumps, and they're looking at, okay, well, we're moving away from gas and oil, so all that money that we're spending on gas and oil is now going to kind of go towards the cost of electricity, because electricity is what's going to generate the heat for their homes. So their consumption is going to go up, and it's kind of trying to fill that gap then, and trying to kind of prevent themselves from having very high electricity bills.
And do you think there's any pushback? I mean, I would think there's always going to be, those, especially politicians, who sort of want to appeal to people who have old cars and they have, their old ways, and they just say, no, we won't allow any changes to happen in our town. I don't know if you've noticed that yourself, that there's a kind of, a natural kind of struggle for some people to accept the reality of the future.
I think there's just the investment side of things as well. People look at the cost of doing this for themselves and are trying to weigh up whether this actually makes sense. And that's a lot of things that we do with our customers, is kind of figuring out what the return on investment is in terms of the work that we do. So how quick is this going to pay itself back? Does it financially make sense for you to do this? And if so, then fire ahead. If not, we'd say kind of hold off on doing the investment. So it has to make sense financially to do it.
And right now it feels like it's going to be sunny for about 360 days a year. That kind of helps as well.
Yeah.
Finally, have you sent any kind of thank you note to Donald Trump, because he has helped your cause hugely over the last, well, I think all his life really, but certainly in the last few months. A little note, anything, just like a thank you card. I'm sure you get one down the centre.
I don't think I'll be getting one off us. No.
Definitely one of us.